Welcome back. We are going to calculate a total score in this video. So we have the 40 item NPI, and we are going to calculate a total score so that we have a total narcissism score for each of our participants, right? So what you can do is we're going to go to well, there's different ways to do it. Let's go ahead, and if you go into one way to do it, go into this spot where you have a new variable, and you can say new computed variable. We'll do transforming in a different example. So different video. So I'm going to do new computed variable. I'm going to call this my NPI total because I'm feeling very creative today. And I'm going to call this my total calculated score from NPI 1 through NPI 40. So that way it's very clear what it is. Notice the formula is here. And so what we can do, so what we want to do is we want to create a sum. So the NPI is you get a total score of narcissism by adding up all the questions. You'll often do an average of an average of items. It just depends on how that scale was developed, how it's used. So for the NPI, again, we're going to create this total score. Now, this is one thing that's kind of obnoxious about Jamovi. It doesn't have this functionality yet, but it's always making changes. And so who knows, by the time that you watch this video, maybe that'll be an option. But right now, what you want to do is you can click on this function if you want to find the functions that you're using. And you can see we have our variables here. So I could say that I'm going to use sum. And so what I need to do is use my sum. It's just like in Excel. Right now, you can't do a range-based sum, which means that I can't say sum together NPI 1 through NPI 40. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. What you have to do is you click. You can double click and then a comma, double click, comma, double click, comma, double click, comma. So you're going to go through and click on each of these. And so it works again the same as Excel, similar to SPSS and other programs, but it does not currently have the range-based functionality, which is a downside, but it's not a big deal. So you just want to make sure that you're getting all of these in there. So I'm going to pause this and do the rest. All right, so now I have them. I'm going to close end parenthesis here. So it's just like a function again in Excel. And then you always want to double check and make sure that you didn't include numbers twice, because that's an easy mistake to make. That's one of the reasons why the range function is really handy. So you could always import it from Excel with the sum already there and save yourself a little work if you have an Excel file or an SPSS file, whatever it might be. So keep that in mind. You can also set like Qualtrics to create a total, things like that. So this looks correct. So I'm going to go ahead and just click out of it. And you'll notice that it calculates your score here. It did correctly identify that this is a scale measurement. So we have, scale is SPSS, that this is an interval measurement, interval ratio measurement. So this is interval. We treat it again as approximately interval for analysis purposes. And so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make one edit here just to demonstrate. So this number, you can't edit this. Like I can't say, oh, that's actually 17. See how it says columns may not be edited. So let's say that this variable here was actually the response on NPI 40 for this participant was actually yes. Notice that it automatically updated. So the good thing is that it's going to reflect any changes to your data. Now you can always copy this and you can paste it. and give it a new name. And that was one that you can then edit if you want to for some reason. I don't know why you would, but you can. And so I'm going to delete that variable that I just added. Okay. But this is how you get a sum. So this is a computed variable example. And notice that every time you click on it, it's going to show you the formula. So you can always go in and check it. That's a really nice thing about this, as opposed to the SPSS point and click, is that you don't have to go in and like redo it every time. So you can see from that variable what it is. So that is where I'm going to end this video. That is an example of doing a computed variable. And this is a sum. So there is a different variable or a different video looking at transforming. So that is it for right now.